So we got our parts in, and we got it from 1-800 Radiator, not a sponsor, but that's where we got it from. Only people actually had it in stock, and they had it here in about an hour and a half. So only thing I had to do to the condenser was just had to switch over this from the old one, 8mm bolt, and two 8mm right there, and pulled off. The new one had a new O-ring on it, so lubed it up with some PAG oil and slid it in, tightened it down, and that right there, you don't have to go crazy on tightening them down or anything. These are self-tappers pretty much. So now what I'm going to do is show you part numbers first, actually, because I've already looked at the radiator. This was the part number 3014AD, then 70130014. That was the condenser. This is the radiator, 21524AL, and like I said, 1-800 Radiator. Here is the new radiator. I just like to keep my little circlip pieces just because I have had it where these did not have them before, so it's just a good idea to keep them. So all I'm going to do is just start putting all this pretty much back together. Pretty much just a reversal of the removal. If I do hit anything weird on putting this back together, I will show y'all that, but for the most part, put your condenser in first, hook up your lines. We're going to put new O-rings on the lines that go into here and right there, just to be safe. Lube them up with PAG oil, and then we'll put the radiator in and then set it into there, just because to me it's a little easier doing it that way. If you want to put it on the radiator first and then put it in, that's totally up to you, however you want to do it. But to me it's easier if I do the condenser first, because then I can get the lines and all that stuff hooked up, and then we can put the radiator in, set this down inside of it. So one thing I did have to do, I forgot to mention, is you have to change these side pieces. And it is a T30, at least on mine. There's your bolts, got a little bit Loctite on there, thread locker, whatever. Set that up there, and then you push it down, and it comes right off. Then do the opposite. Push it up. This goes in a little slot. Gotta stay one-handed. You just push it up, put the bolt in there. I just use my little impact driver that I use to take it out. Just use that to put it back in. So, but that's it. We'll put this back on, then we can set it all back down inside. But I do have the condenser in now. You can see. Alright, so we do have it in now. Everything is put back on. I went ahead and filled it up. See the water? Takes deck school 50-50, and I put exactly 2 gallons, and that filled it up to the ledge right here, like on mine. So it's probably gonna take more once the thermostat opens, all that stuff. But 2 gallons filled it up to this point. But before we do anything, I'll put this back on. Come on, get on there. Hey, what ain't we going on? Don't tell me this uses a different radiator cap. I don't think this radiator cap is going to fit this one. Yes, the radiator fit in there, but it cost. We'll use a smaller radiator cap. This one isn't going to work. I'll have to let him know that. But before we do this anyway, I'm going to hook up my AC gauges. We're going to pull a vacuum and let it sit, make sure it's not leaking anymore, and all that good stuff. So let me hook it up. I'll show you how we do a vacuum. Got my gauges hooked up right here. Vacuum pump, high side port, low side's right there. Now turn it on. Once you turn it on, open high and low. and then let this go for about 15-20 minutes. And walk away, do what you need to do. If you got something else you're working on, go ahead and do that. But I'm gonna let this pull for 15 minutes. Once we got our 15 minutes down, we're gonna go turn them back off, and then we're gonna let it sit for at least another 15 minutes. I personally like to do 20 to 30, but at least 15 minutes. Let it sit just to make sure you don't lose any of that vacuum. If you do, you know you have a leak somewhere. So we'll be back in a few. It'll be just a few seconds for you, but it'll be back in a few minutes from now. All right, we've been sitting here a little over 20 minutes now, and we're gonna close these off. Camera shut. And now we're gonna cut this off, and we're just gonna let it sit there for about another 15-20 minutes until we either see it. If we see it moving down faster than we like, go ahead and try to find out where the leak is coming from, or if it stays there, or you maybe lose 1 or 2 little pound or inches of mercury while it's sitting there for 15-20 minutes, that's perfectly fine. But if you lose more, I'd say more than 5 in 15-20 minutes, you got a decent little leak in there. We need to find out where it's coming from. All right, so we've been sitting here for probably close to 30 minutes now, maybe a little longer. I had to go next door, get a new cap right here. That one did work. I had it somewhere, but it is a Murray Motor Rad. Same thing. Where did I do it in the box? Right here. Here it is. 7046 Murray. So that does fit an aftermarket radiator for anybody who's wondering. So, like I said, we've been sitting here for a while and no leaks. Calls for 1.6 pounds of Freon. So that equates to about 26 ounces. 25.5, somewhere around there. But these are 12-ounce cans. I'm gonna put 2 in here. Check it. Watch the pressures and everything. On the first go around, you should be able to just push it in there. It should take, because of the vacuum. Always go on the low side, people. Had somebody tell me you can go on the high side if you flip the can upside down while you're doing it like this, and never thought about that, but it is possible to do that because you're sucking vapors instead of liquid at that point. That's a pretty good little tip for if you happen to watch this video. Thank you for that tip. So now let it suck it in as much as possible. Then go inside, crank her up, and let her circulate. Turn the AC on, do your thing, watch pressures. So let me do that. Whenever I go to put in the last can, I'll bring y'all back, put it in, kind of show y'all what we're gonna be doing, and then that way we can burp the radiator too. So I got the second can on here now, and we're just letting some of it in. And it took it off. Now we're going to check temperatures. Make sure it works first. Yep, that's in Celsius. Okay, Fahrenheit. Let's see what the temperatures is. Alright. Should start to fall. Getting into the 40s. If we hit the 30s, we are really good. If it's in the 30s, because it's about 80 degrees today, 79, somewhere around there. But that's 42 on the outside. We are about 42, 41 coming out. But we are in the 40s. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, hold on. Down into the 30s now. Yeah, we're in the 30s. Good and cold. That is really good. I'm happy with that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the truck warm up, come up to temperature a little bit, and then I'm going to check the hoses and where the thermostat goes in. Check that one to see if it's hot. Whenever that one gets hot, you know the thermostat opens, and then we can add water to it if you, or coolant, whatever you want to. Yeah, 50-50. But I'm just going to let it come up to temperature, and I'm going to go ahead and start putting the caps back on the AC system. So I'm sitting in the truck right now, and yes, it only has 84,000 miles on it, being an 06. Not bad at all. But sitting in it, temperature hand's been sitting right there below the halfway mark for like the last 10 minutes now, and I've been between 15 and 2,000 RPMs the whole time, just to get it to come up. And what it does, the higher RPMs will circulate a little bit faster, kind of get bubbles to air bubbles to come out, so it can get past the thermostat, so it don't get caught. But I went and filled up the reservoir to the cold spot before I even started. I forgot to show that. That was my fault. But on the overflow, just go fill it up to the cold spot. But like I said, we're sitting here and it seems to be pretty good. And this one does have a little 2.8 in it, just so everybody knows. I think it was 07 or 08 that went to the 2.9, and ain't really much any difference between those two, to be honest. I think it was either rods or cranks. The only difference, it made a little bit longer stroke or something. Forgot what it was. Somebody can correct me in the comments. Let me know if you do know that, but I'm thinking it was crank or rods that are different, maybe, or piston dome could be different. One of the three, but that's about the only difference. Only 0.1 cubic inches or liters. But let's go check this thing and kind of see. This hose is hot, and I'm going to reach under on the bottom and fill the other one. Just be careful when you do it. Don't want to hit it. It's not hot yet, but it's not cold. So probably still need to let it circulate to get all that out of there. But we're just going to continue to do this, let it run. Make sure that everything is good on it. Let the thermostat come up, but there is heat coming out of the vents, so that is a good thing. Also, when you're doing your radiators on about anything, I do suggest putting heat on, just so it circulates through the heater core in case it's got a heater control valve instead of just a blend door. So here we are about 20 minutes later, and the temperature is dead in the middle now. Everything looks good. I topped off the coolant again and just made sure, but I'm going to turn it off, let it cool down, and then I'll come back up to temperature. Probably do that two or three more times, just let it kind of settle, then you just top it off as it's going. It's just something I like to do. I always like to let them cool down and cycle back up at least 3 times after you do a cooling system thing. But you don't have to do that if you're comfortable with just doing it once. That's on you. You just do your thing. But pretty much, if y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. If you got a quicker way of doing something, or you got a little trick like the guy with the Freon, he told me, you know, you can turn it upside down where the vapor is going into the high side. You can do it that way. Stuff too. Little tricks like that help everybody out. But like I said, if you got anything, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. I have a couple people who's reached out to me locally, want me to help them out with some stuff, so that kind of be pretty cool. And you probably see some of their stuff and meet some people who, you know, subscribe and stuff like that. I kind of like that idea. But if y'all got anything, like I said, just hit me up on Instagram. I can help y'all out, you know, work instructions, wiring diagrams, even labor times and stuff. Just let me know. But y'all know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe, notification bell if you haven't done so already. If you didn't like this video, I got plenty more on there. You might like something else that I have. Let me know. I got like 400 videos. But As always, torque this tight. Y'all have a great day.